You could go out to eat tonight at somewhere that didn't win best family-friendly restaurant.
Ew.
Or best wings in Portland in the Willamette Weekly.
Why would you do that?
But that'd be dumb if you did that, because then you wouldn't be eating the best and the most family-friendly. And by that, I mean Fire on the Mountain.
Fire on the
What?
mountain.
Fire on the mountain?
That's right. Go over to Fire on the Mountain. 3 locations here in Portland to serve you, and 2 in Denver.
And 1 coming soon in Bend.
What?
That's right. Chicken wings, salads, burgers, pizza at some of the locations, and it's Grateful Dead friendly.
And they have the best desserts on the planet. Deep fried Oreos. They add in Nutter Butter sometimes. Who wanted deep fried cheesecake?
They had deep fried lemon pound cake. Dude.
Lemon pound cake with a lemon drizzle and powdered
Wow.
sugar.
When
Same
did they
room
have
for
that?
dessert.
Last month, or it might even be this month still. And hey, check this out. If you are a vegan or a vegetarian and you're like, gross, chicken wings, don't be like that. It's okay. They got you covered, man. They got a bunch of vegan options. They have vegetarian options. Like I said, they have some of the most bomb salads on the planet.
Yeah, they do.
So go check out Fire on the Mountain. And if you're not in Portland or Denver, go to portlandwings.com. Grab yourself some FOTM gear. Get yourself some Fire on the Mountain socks. Get yourself some of their sauces.
Have a
cool
little cups.
Fire on the Mountain party at your house. And remember that the Grateful Dead family is hooking it up and cooking it up at Fire on the Mountain.
Boom. Shop Tour Bus is one of our sponsors.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. And they are serving you up with the most amazing merch. Can you believe that?
I can, because they've been a sponsor of the show for over 5 years. And the reason they've been a sponsor of the show for over 5 years is because their shit is amazing.
And we love them.
And their stuff happens to be wonderfully designed T-shirts based on Grateful Dead song lyrics.
That's right. T-shirts, hoodies, stickers, and pins.
Right now they got the jumbo tote bags ready to go.
Ooh.
The Steal Your Tape jumbo tote bags.
That's right. That was the OG design that pulled me in back 5 years ago. And hey, they're coming in all over print boxes that are lovingly packaged with all kinds of extras on the inside. Some of you are going to get a Grateful Dead Miracle bootleg cassette tape in there as well. Like the real thing, man. Like a real bootleg that like you could put in a cassette player and listen to that has Grateful Dead music on it that's been traded through the family. It might even have like smell like patchouli when you get it.
In that box might come a pencil to spool that tape with.
That's right. And you're going to get free shipping when you put in the promo code No Simple Road. All one word. When you're checking out, you're going to get free shipping from our family over at Shop Tour Bus. Go to shoptourbus.com and follow them on Instagram at Shop Tour Bus.
And feel the love.
So we're headed down to Eugene this weekend to go see String Cheese Incident. And if we were going down, since we're going down, how would you rate the Cuthbert Amphitheater on Venue Llama, Mel?
Well, I would definitely rate them high as far as the concert going experience, the beauty of the venue, and the accessibility. They've got great parking, and they're incredible.
That's absolutely true. And hey, check this out. See, we're talking about venuelama.com. This is an online resource where live music fans share helpful venue insider information reviews that are based on their own experiences. It's a place where pro showgoers can quickly review venues and exchange seriously helpful venue intel with one another. Head over to venuelama.com today and sign up for your free Llama account and start reviewing venues today. Reviews in the Llama base can include photos and put stuff in the Llama gallery, add your favorite scene-friendly businesses, websites, or podcasts to the friends page. And hey, man, this is a what do you call it?
Participatory?
Well, that too, but it's an idea that is birthed out of our very own family.
That's right.
This came from the Fish and Grateful Dead and Widespread Panic community. And the idea is to make sure that when we're going to a venue that we've never been to before, that all the people that have been there before can hip everybody else up to what's going on there.
Yeah, like the whole clear bag thing, the policy.
Water bottle thing.
Yeah.
So,
chairs, no chairs.
Yeah.
And who better to get the information from than a showgoer like you and us to tell you the truth about things and give you the rundown.
True. And basically what this is the family telling you what's shaking on Shakedown Street. At Venue Llama. So go to venuelama.com. That's venuellama.com today. Sign up for your free Llama account. It's free. And start sharing reviews of all the venues that you've been to so that people that haven't been there before can know what's going on. And then if you're going somewhere, you can go there and check it out. You get the idea, venuelama.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
Yes, Apple.
Torrin.
Yes, this is Torrin.
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
it is.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't get scared.
I'm not.
Okay, are you sure?
I'm a little scared.
I'll hold
okay?
your hand again.
All right, here, hold my hand.
No, I'm not going to hold your hand.
Well,
I don't know
why
where
would you
those
say
things
you
have been.
would?
Hey,
man?
now, No Simple Road family. This is Aaron.
And it's Mel.
And it's Apple.
And we're back for another fun-filled episode of No Simple Road. Our guest this week is Torrin Daniels from the Kitchen Dwellers.
The one and only Torrin.
Woo, woo, woo. Torrin, thanks for coming over to the house, to the
He's
studio,
definitely a musical hero of mine.
hanging out with us. And we were going to kidnap you, but we decided to let you go back to your girl, man. It's all
Yeah, and we want to see the Kitchen Dwellers again, so that would have been weird to like kidnap him. And
Well, then they would all
he's
just
got
have
a
to
tour,
come
and
here
things
to
going
play here.
on.
I mean, he would have had a nice room and,
That's true.
a nice doggy to pet and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. You know what? It is awesome to be able to do No Simple Road. It's doubly awesome to be able to talk to our musical heroes. And
It's triply awesome.
when they come to the house.
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah. And I just feel like there's something extra that gets added to the vibe when the person that we're interviewing is here in the room with us. We get to share like space.
yeah. They get
And
to enter our bubble of like security and awesomeness here at our house and get comfortable. We get to we get to be hosts and hostesses and get them comfortable, and it just sets a awesome like setting for a
I would
conversation.
love to see you be a hostess, Apple.
I nail it, dude.
Also,
Really think
another
beautiful
thing,
hair.
when you're looking into someone's eyes, there's just other things that come up than just the traditional things that we would ask. Like there's, a lot going on in our shared environment, so we can get a little bit, deeper, or just the conversation can turn a different way. And it's really cool. We can like share a smoke outside or go up and have a coffee or whatever.
Yep. Absolutely. And hey, if you aren't hip to the Kitchen Dwellers, where have you been? But
Yeah,
It's okay. You know what?
Catch
totally
up.
fine.
Then you're going to love us for introducing you to the Kitchen Dwellers.
You're
if
gonna
you
have a
don't
lot
know
to
who they are.
listen to. I'd be jealous of somebody that was just getting in the Kitchen Dwellers because it'll be all new to them.
and they just released a 16-song live album. Is it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out. Sure is. Live at Pine Creek, Volume 2 just came out. 16 songs. It's about hour and 30 minutes worth of music. And Kitchen Dwellers are not obtained the moniker Galaxy Grass for no reason.
Yeah.
Definite reason why they are called Galaxy Grass. And you if you know who they are, you know what I mean. And if you don't, you're going to go find out. You're going to be super stoked. And here's the thing. As with many bands that come on No Simple Road or artists, you can listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that. And it's an amazing experience to listen to the hard work and blood, sweat, and tears these guys and girls put into their work and their art. But like, as I said, with most of them, the thing is going to see the band live, and the Kitchen Dwellers are no exception to that rule. If they come through your town, please do me a favor, do us a favor, go see them live. It is
the energy that comes off of that stage and that they give to the fans. Like, there's a photo of them on Instagram at Red Rocks, and you're looking up, and that entire place is packed, and the smiles that I like kind of zoomed in on the people, and people are so freaking stoked, you know, like so happy. And that's the kind of energy they give. It's raw, it's like aggressive, it's fun, it's like
trippy,
scary, it's Galaxy
It's got
Grass.
a lot. It'll melt your face and blow it off and mix it up and everything. Their light show also is always just mind blowing and is so well suited to
and
the music.
And their covers. That's another thing. Not only is their music incredible, but then you throw their covers and they're like, dang. So,
and Kitchen Dwellers fans are a very special breed of human beings as well. I don't know if it was while we were doing the interview or not, but he told us a story about how the hot dog eating contest came to be.
Yeah, I think that was
at Pine
there.
Creek. I think it was out on the porch. And let me just say, bravo, Kitchen Dwellers fans. Bravo.
Yes, bravo.
Well done. So yeah, with this Torrin from the Kitchen Dwellers, banjo player, and we're going to get you to the interview. We're going to do the business real quick. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on the social media platforms. Go to our website. It's www.nosimpleroad.com, and that has like our merch and our newsletter, and you can get a tarot reading with the Grateful Dead tarot deck with Mel and I, all the No Simple Road stuff. Also, No Simple Road is appearing live with Andy Frasco's world-saving podcast at Ophelia's Electric Soapbox in Denver, Colorado, on August 30th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are available now through the Ophelia's website and at nosimpleroad.com. Get your tickets now. They are going super fast, and I would hate for anyone in the No Simple Road family that wanted to be there to not be able to be there because it was sold out. That would make me sad.
I'm going to just go through and read a couple of the people that they have coming up at Ophelia's, because I think...
No Simple Road.
Well, I was going to put us in there, but I want Dwayne Betts, okay, Everyone Orchestra, Arrested Development,
damn,
and Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast with No Simple Road.
Yep, that's right.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because it's a big deal for us that we are in the likes of people like Matt Butler, Andy Frasco, and a bunch of others.
That's when the imposter syndrome is in high gear on this end of the table. Yep,
well,
for sure.
We do have something to say, and we're putting out good stuff. So I'm going to pass on imposter syndrome right now. Maybe I'll wait till I get there or something.
So that is our appearance at Ophelia's. And like I said, you can get tickets at nosimpleroad.com. You can also get tickets at Ophelia's website. And we are also going to be appearing at Cascade Equinox Festival in Redmond, Oregon, everybody. That's a thing that's happening. Headliners of Pretty Lights, Goose, LPGOB, Trevor Hall, and The Great In Between, and many more amazing acts. So second tier tickets are almost sold out for that. So if you have the inclination, then you better hurry your little tuchus up and go get yourself some tickets.
Yeah, if you're not so inclined, get inclined.
Yeah. Tickets are $30 and $35, depending on where you want to sit.
For Cascade?
No, I was talking. Sorry,
we passed that already.
I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't paying attention. All right, that was for Ophelia's, guys. Cascade, no.
Oh, Mel. Anyway,
look, sometimes I'm slow.
It's okay. I love you anyway.
Well, now you got that information in there. That's important to know.
Now it's
Cascade is not $30.
No, it's not. But
I'll repeat that.
Go to their website and find out what the ticket prices are, and come hang out with us in Redmond, Oregon. It's going to be a hoot. And let's see. go to our Patreon page. There is a bunch of content on our Patreon site that you are not getting if you are not a Patreon subscriber of No Simple Road. Look, you can sign up for as little as $1.
Cute dollars.
You get access to ad-free early episodes. You're getting polls. You're getting engagement with the No Simple Road community. And you're also getting a second podcast that is only heard by our Patreon subscribers called Side Roads. So,
which also involves our listeners and our Patreon subscribers because Cory interviews them and we get to know the family better.
yep.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to actually listen to the Side Roads episodes with the people that we go to shows with or that come over and hear their stories and how they got to be with No Simple Road. And
I just thought of a good Side Road guest.
ooh,
Jason and Audrey.
they deserve to go as a couple.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be great.
Okay. And so that's patreon.com/No Simple Road. Here's the thing, and I haven't said this in a while. I'm going to say it again.
Say it again.
Everything costs money, man. And Patreon is the number one way that we make money with No Simple Road and produce these episodes. So if you are a consumer of No Simple Road, consider signing up over there. You're not getting nothing for your contribution. You're getting 8 episodes a month, and you're getting bonus podcasts that you can only get when you sign up on Patreon.
And we appreciate you're getting our appreciation too, our energy that's being put toward you. We had somebody sign up last week.
Yes.
Michael.
That's
Thank
right.
you so
Thank
much,
you,
Michael. We
Michael.
appreciate you. We speak your name, Michael. We love you. Thank you.
Michael.
You can also call the No Simple Road Tepid line, 971-808-1524. That number again, 971-808-1524.
1524.
You know what? Not Michael. David has called every week for the past umpteen weeks.
Few weeks.
You know what? I'm going to play his call right now.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I before I play his call, I have to retract my statement. We've had other callers call in too. So, John B., here we go, buddy.
No Simple Road family. Hope y'all are enjoying this hot summer. Johnny B from Delaware calling in on the John B line or the David line. David, thank you for all your calls. I feel your emotions and vibes hardcore because I feel No Simple Road's message just as much as you. So maybe if there's like an East Coast and West Coast Hunter, I can be like the East Coast David and you can be the West Coast JB. Anyway, weird thoughts I have in my head. I did want to say that I'm going to fish tomorrow at Star Lake Amphitheater with Rob A, East Coast Hunter, and like 13 other heads. Joe is going to be there, so this will be No Simple Road East Coast family get together.
That's dope.
Party down for 2 nights at Fish. So it's going to be a fun time. Give you guys a trip report on that one for sure. I also wanted to say nothing makes me happier than hearing the Rhythms Ground episode and the land dedication ceremony. That was like the coolest shit I ever heard. I have a Delaware pine cone sitting here in my house that one day I will bring out to Rhythms Ground for a festival to add to the beauty when I am able to attend in person, because that is epic, and that makes me smile from ear to ear.
That's rad, John.
Fuck yeah,
I
dude.
also saved the fair episode to listen to today because it'll make work way better when I'm waiting for my last day to go to fish. So thank you so much for that. One other thing. Cory, I got to ask about your mom's gravy, because when you take the bus to the car in Boston, I got to know what kind of gravy they got in Boston. That's all I'm wondering. I've never been to Boston. I mean, maybe I drove through with my mom on like a vacation, but you know what? I never got the full Boston experience. And you know, Apple, we like the food, so I never got the Boston food experience. I want to try it out, Cory. Maybe you can show me around, you know. Anyway, so
I fucking love
hope
you,
everyone
dude.
else is having a awesome summer. Stay hydrated, especially you, Nate. It's hot as fuck out there, like 110, and when it's humid, that'll just kill you. So safety, like third, but hydrate first, all the way.
Oh, yeah.
I love y'all. I'll give y'all a trip report. I might send a weird voicemail from some songs. Who knows what'll happen? You know how it gets crazy at fish shows sometimes. All right. Talk to you later.
We
there's
love
more.
you, John.
There's more. Uh-oh. This could be live from Fish. I don't know. I haven't listened to this.
Yeah, John.
Hey, it's Johnny B from the DE. As we speak, or as I speak, I'm currently driving past the first Fish flag on Shakedown Street in Star Lake. I was listening to the fair episode on my drive up to Fish because that's the best thing to listen to, and I had to stop mid-episode to make this call. Quick psychedelic story. My friend Maureen Tola went to Bonnaroo, took a shit ton of acid. When she was tripping, she thought she died, and then she was in heaven. So she went to the medical tent, decided to call her parents and said, "Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm dead. Don't worry, everything's fine. Just wanted to let you know, heaven's cool." They drove all the way from Maryland to pick their tripping daughter up in the middle of Bonnaroo insanity, like 15, 20 years ago.
Oh,
Apple, your story of the Whitebird acid was the funniest fucking shit I have ever heard in my entire life. Also from Aaron and Mel telling it and helping you out. I laughed just hearing the story. I imagine how hard you guys were laughing during the midnight show, but that was like the best thing I've ever heard. That episode is probably in my top 3
Fuck yeah.
No Simple Road episodes, and I rate the episodes probably like Dark Star Orchestra. I think number 31 recap is like could be number 1, but this hell way better. So hilarious. Fair sounds like the coolest fucking thing ever. True Burning Man. Like I am coming to fair.
You were made for it.
Yeah.
Or where, or what, or how. But I just had to call because Apple, I love you. That was like the best thing I've ever heard. It makes me smile. I love how you guys took care of him. I feel like a lot of
Me
times
too.
I am the trip sitter, but sometimes I also need to be trip stat. Unfortunately, I have been pulled out of a porta potty at All Good because I took too many mushrooms. So I'm never eating mushrooms again. This is for sure. Liquid, hey, liquid, hey. Everyone needs liquid, especially water. Hydrate, Gatorade is good. I might be selling those on the lot tomorrow. Come and find me, orange and purple, all the way, all day. And water, of course. Maybe some Bud Light. I don't drink it, but I'll sell it. Okay, I love you all. I just had to call and say that. I'm basically about to park, and you know when you get that tingle, right, when you get into Fish Fly?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It's fully tingling, if you know what you mean.
Aw.
So tonight, Ghost, MoMA Dance, and Cross-Eyed and Painless.
Ooh, that's
Why
a good
not?
one.
This is my idea.
Yeah,
All right,
why
I'll
not?
talk to y'all later. See ya.
The Google thing says, like the translate, it says, Mama Dance and Cross Item Panless. Why not?
You know, John, I didn't forget, but every time you call in, it reminds me of how much I love you. I miss you. You're still, no matter what, one of my favorite people to dance and cut a rug to at a show. And I remember getting those same tingles when we pulled up to Hershey, Pennsylvania,
Yep.
and seeing the sky all crazy. And that was one of it's a favorite memory. It's a core memory. So thank you for calling in. And
John's enthusiasm
I love
is
that.
unmatched.
Yeah.
yeah, I love I love the idea of a East Coast David and a West Coast John B.
Yeah,
I love
this
that.
is the East Coast David, or I'm sorry, West Coast David, East Coast John B line. So we got to top it off. We got
need,
one more.
we need a middle of the country.
Yeah, we need somebody from the middle. Here we go.
Hey, NSR fam, it's California Dave.
Hi, Dave.
It's Tuesday, and I just wanted to say hey to everybody out there in the fam. I'm out trying to drive to do my job here in California, but I'm in some of that notorious California traffic.
Yeah.
Been in it for like a couple miles. It'll be a couple miles more. And just cruising, enjoying some Dead.
That sounds like a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous music, and not stressing.
Right on.
Good for you, man.
Just wanted to pass on the love. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day today, and I can't wait for the next episode to drop on Friday. Looking
Next
forward to
episode.
it, and have a wonderful day, NSR fam. Love y'all. Love the fam. Love the hosts of the show. You guys are fabulous, all of you.
Right on, man.
At Baseline, you're nothing less than amazing.
Oh, dude.
Wow.
I'll catch you guys later.
Okay, I just
Dang.
decided I'm hiring David to walk around with me.
He's the best marketer in the universe.
I just want him to walk around with me and be like, "You're fucking killing
awesome,
it. You're
dude.
doing
You are
it,
good
dude."
enough. You are
just
smart
kind
enough.
of like your ego builder.
Yeah, just like when I start feeling a little blue or like what I'm
That
thinking
imposter
is stupid.
syndrome?
Yeah, he'll be like,
Don't worry about
"No,
it, man.
Aaron,
You're awesome.
yeah."
No, you should
by-
play that. You should like literally play that. You're like walking and you're like, man, I'm feeling
By
really
the
down
way,
on myself.
David, just want to let you know, Ryder says thank you for what you had said before. We played it for him when he got back home from house sitting, and he loved what you said and looks forward to meeting you someday.
And one last thing about listeners and interaction with the show. Adam wrote into the show a while ago, and he started at the beginning of No Simple Road. And he is working his way through. When he wrote me the first time, he was at like episode 40 something. And he wrote me the other day, he is now up to episode 150 something.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
And
That's a lot of hours.
so he's not going to hear this for a very long time.
He's only going one way
He
on the
will
ladder.
only go chronologically. He won't skip ahead.
Wow. Good for you, Adam.
But Adam,
That's dedication.
I wanted to tell you that last night when I fed Darwin dinner, I handed him a treat and I said, "This is from Adam."
Oh, because he
And I
asked for
really,
that.
I swear I did that. And Darwin was very appreciative. So Darwin got the treat from you. And I'm telling Mel and Apple right now, Adam says hi.
Wow.
Hello,
well, thank
Adam.
you. And hello, Adam. And
when you get here.
you should email him and at least tell him there's a little nugget for him in episode 3 something.
Okay.
Try to tempt him to skip forward.
So everybody, kitchen dwellers come through your town. Go see them
Don't
play.
sleep on it.
Go to kitchendwellers.com. They have a whole bunch of tour dates up. You just need to go look, see if
Well,
they're
and
coming
right
to your
now,
area.
Torrin just one day ago posted that he's on his little break, hanging out with his girl, getting some nature in, eating good food, relaxing before this tour. So soak it up, Torrin,
Yeah,
and
man.
everybody get ready for when the kitchen dwellers head to your town.
And then go to Spotify or wherever you're streaming music and pick yourself up. See, I'm old. You're not
Don't
buying
pick. You're not going to
anything.
buy it,
Listen to,
or you can buy it, but
yeah, Live at Pine Creek Volume 2. It's got an hour and a half plus of music on there. I think it's 1 hour and 31 minutes. So I'm being literal.
And you will hear us talk about that venue and how much they love it and what it means. Also, one last thing, I will say one date, August 22nd or 26th at Bridger Brewing in Three Forks, Montana. They will be celebrating their 1,000th show.
Congratulations,
Whoa.
guys.
Who's keeping track of those shows?
They are. They probably have a big tally board on their bus or something.
That'd be dope.
All right, everybody, we're going to get you to the end. We're going to stop gabbing here. We love all of you. Thanks for listening. Tell a friend about the show. Leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. And here we go. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Torrin Daniels.
Yeah, hell yeah. Torrin, welcome, brother.
Thank you.
What's happening?
I'm just chilling, running all over town.
Thanks for gracing the house with your presence, man.
Yeah.
Coming over to hang out for a few.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is quite the spot.
Yeah, we lucked out. We've been here
Actually
7 years.
Today is my anniversary, 7-year
7 years
anniversary
today,
of being
the
in Oregon.
13th.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, literally today, probably like right around now, to be honest.
Oh wow, happy anniversary,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah,
Thank you.
right on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's
that's
been a great 7 years.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
We totally scored, dude. Like we didn't know anything.
Sight unseen.
Yeah, nothing about Portland. Like I didn't know about like neighborhoods.
Yeah,
Where-
totally.
Where we were from wasn't like that.
Yeah.
And when we got up here, I'm like, holy shit. We get to freaking live here?
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Yeah, this
come-
is wild.
Coming from Las Vegas where nothing's supposed to really thrive or
Oh,
live.
yeah, totally. Yeah. Yes.
Do you play Las Vegas
Yeah, I
a
was gonna
lot?
say, do callers play?
We've been there a few times. We played there. The first time we played there, we played the late nights for Cheese at the Brooklyn Bowl.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And we did
That's
a
a good
late
spot.
night, I think every night. And it was just like in the bar of the Brooklyn Bowl there. So like people
Yeah.
would just like turn around and leave
Ugh.
Cheese and then go right past us, like on their
Oh,
way out.
I know,
so
yeah.
inevitably caught some of the late night people. That was years ago though. And then just recently we were there for a fish pre-party at the Brooklyn Bowl, and we played like the actual stage at the Brooklyn Bowl, and that was pretty good. That was on Halloween.
That was Halloween.
yeah,
I remember
what?
we were at Brooklyn Bowl. We went there during the day.
We were there
first-
during the day.
Oh, because of Osiris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were up
nice.
there, and you guys, we heard you guys sound checking and getting
yep.
ready, and then we were like, we had a bunch of shit to do.
Well,
Right.
let's be real.
It was
hard-
fish. It was
it's
fish Halloween.
and it's hard to fucking do a late night, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or that was the pre-party, so that was like people had been there, for whatever 4 days up until we played there, and it was early in the day. There was still a ton of people there. I was just honestly surprised that people would make it to something that early in the day on the fourth night of a fish run.
Well, because they haven't slept.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of that.
We're
too,
still
yeah.
spun from the night
Yes,
before.
yeah, there
seeking out the music when the music ends.
There was a fair
Yeah.
amount of that. Yeah, it was great though. We had a blast.
So what made you decide to move to Portland, man?
I was just kind of ready for a little change. Both my lady and I are from Montana. Kind of born and raised there. So after living there for 30 years, I was just kind of ready for a little change. I mean, Montana's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It is definitely. There's a reason why they call it the last best place for sure.
Wow.
Okay.
But I always really enjoyed being on tour in the Northwest whenever we'd come through, and just really liked the music scene, and then snowboarding, and then also the ocean was being right next to each other is pretty awesome. I'm a huge fan of grunge and punk music, so that's I've always really liked the Northwest.
So kind of like the next best.
Yes,
thing.
the next best
Yes.
place. Yes,
Second.
yeah.
Yeah, you and I come from similar musical backgrounds. We were both really into grunge, and Misfits was my shit.
Yeah,
growing
yeah,
up.
hell
and,
yeah.
yeah. So, it's cool to see that it's still around, and
Definitely. Definitely
I've
is.
seen you covering some Misfits tunes on the banjo, man.
We have, yeah. Every Halloween usually
Is when the
works its way in there.
comes out.
At least that's when I feel it's appropriate to convince the rest of the band to play it.
Well, you guys are kind of blowing up.
Thank you. We're trying for sure. I hope so.
It's cool to see,
Oh.
man. It really is. I think the first time we really got to see you play was at Northwest String Summit. Am I wrong?
2019 is the first time we got to see him live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And
was-
since then, it's just like exploded, man.
Yeah, we kind of like when COVID happened, we all still lived in the same town. We still lived in all lived in Bozeman, Montana. So it was that was sort of the opportunity to really like be able to work on stuff together as a band that we normally don't have time to because we're always on tour. And none of us had kids yet or any of that kind of stuff, or none of us were married yet. So we were all just kind of like, living in this smaller town, and we had have our own studio space. We still rent the same one. That we were kind of able to meet up at like regularly, almost daily, and work on new music. And our management company, 1111, sort of kind of put things into overtime when COVID happened, and they did a lot of virtual festivals and streams and socially distanced events and things like that a lot when COVID happened. So instead of taking a break like a lot of our friends did, we sort of used that time to maybe put in like twice the amount of work that we typically do.
I know the feeling.
Very smart.
Yeah, it was
like, smart.
Yeah, it was. We kind of like collectively made the decision of either we'll come out of this either 2 years behind everyone or ahead. So.
Yeah. But you guys got a new album during that time.
Yep, yeah,
and then the cabin sessions is still to this day will always be. That was a lifesaver during COVID when you guys did that.
Oh, thanks.
And it was amazing. I think it was Shawn we were talking to about that. It was one of the things I was like, so was that a fog machine?
Oh, no.
And he just started laughing and it was like, yeah. but that, I mean, those sessions were like when everybody really needed live music and something new. And you guys killed it.
Did it feel like that for you guys too, to do that?
Yeah. We kind of like, we're really just taking the time to kind of do something new or an inventive that we don't typically get the chance to. And just sort of using the inspiration of the time, like, everything going on at the time, with all the like civil unrest and shit going on, in our country. There was like a lot of turmoil and that sort of came through in the music. And that's kind of where that cabin thing came from was, sort of a play on, Live at Pompeii, the Pink Floyd show or the Pink Floyd movie, where they play in the Coliseum in Pompeii and there's nobody there. That was kind of like the idea. And that's why there's Pink Floyd covers like sprinkled throughout, all those sessions. And that's kind of why, is cause we played, in this cabin to nobody. Yeah. And there's nobody out there. Yeah.
It's a trip to even think now about going through that, about going through quarantine and all the shit that we went through, man. It's gnarly.
Yeah.
It's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
How did you do, man? Your head.
I did okay. It was kind of like that was kind of the catalyst for me sort of looking into therapy and different like mental health sort of avenues, especially with our friends in Backline, because they're super good at that and really make it easy for musicians to sort of get the resources that we need or be able to deal with people that really understand some things that you go through as a traveling musician that really a lot of the general population probably can't relate to.
Like what?
Just as far as like being on the road and being away from home and having the people at home maybe not necessarily understand is kind of a big one.
That's a hard thing to understand.
Yeah.
For the average person.
Yeah. And typically, you feel like usually any of your like family or significant others, you can usually tell them a lot of things in your life that they can probably relate to or at least level with you on, but I don't know if it's not the same for people that work in the music industry, I don't think. And sometimes even other people may not understand why you're putting yourself through those things.
That's a valid question.
Yeah. Like if you're saying you get these negative experiences or connotations from being on the road, all the time, and it takes a toll on your brain, then a lot of people would just ask you, well, why do it? Why do that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So just do something else. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which makes sense to maybe the sane person, but not to musicians. So,
What is it? What's your why?
I don't know. I think, I mean, at this point, I just don't think I know how to do anything else, maybe.
Okay. But, don't sell yourself short.
Yeah,
Torrin.
no, it's just, I think it's, kind of the thing that, makes me feel okay, with everything else going on, in the world. I think it's, I mean, it's kind of like, how Jeff Austin was like paraphrased as saying, like, you know, they tell you that the stage shouldn't be your therapist, but for some people it inevitably is.
Wow.
So that's kind of, I guess for me, it's kind of like the thing that I believe in the most.
That makes sense.
I think that for a lot of people, music is the therapist.
Yeah,
so,
totally. Yeah.
I mean, I don't see there's anything wrong with reversing that and that stage being something that helps you find comfort or sense out of, like you said, this crazy, wacky, bizarro world.
Yeah. And like a release, you know, it's a big part of it.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Well, I'll just say, where else are you going to like go hang out at the park and use that voice to like, you'd scare the people at the park.
Yeah.
Like that, like you guys collectively and you have a thing that is therapy to us as well. So, I mean, it's like mutual therapy, and I couldn't imagine you. I'd be sad if you did anything else.
Yeah. 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 So that's, I guess,
well, now Torrin's going to deliver weed for a living.
Yeah, totally.
Boring.
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah.
You can't deliver weed with a voice like that. I mean, nothing against that. If you want to do that, it's fine. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing, though. Music doesn't lie.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Totally.
And it makes you feel the way that you feel. And that's it. And that's always the truth.
Yeah.
And so that space is safe no matter what. And so I totally get it. I mean, that makes sense. But then when the thing that is supposed to be your saving grace or the place that you find safety is the thing that's fucking kicking your ass, that's tough.
But isn't that a lot of things, right? Like, I think when anybody, say, goes deep into a career of sorts, they have these long hours, it's grueling on their body, it's mentally taxing, they come home fried, and then they go back for more.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it's like there's something in us, I think, in our work, whatever our work is, that one, like, makes us go mad, but also satiates something deep inside that not many things can do.
Totally. Yeah. And I think, I am, everyone has the days where you're like, why the fuck do I do this?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? You know, everyone has those, moments and feelings and stuff like that. But from what I can gather of a lot of our friends that are living relatively normal lives, I feel like that I made the best choice for me.
Wow. That's cool.
Just because, I one of our friends recently, I can't remember what, we were at some social event and they were talking to us and they were like, you know, talking to a couple of us and we like keep asking us questions about the band and stuff since we've seen them and how things have been going on the road. And then we'd like ask them, you know, how are you guys doing and how's, you know, whatever career you chose and stuff like that. And after a while, they were like, sorry, we keep asking about how you guys are doing. We just all fucking hate our jobs. So like we, you know,
so 1 or 2 days of you questioning it is better than a lifetime of like, shit.
Yeah. And this is just, you know, this is a couple people and it's paraphrasing, but that was basically the gist of like, you know, and so I was like, oh, maybe I did choose the right thing for me.
You sacrifice hard for a big life, Torrin. You know, like you're not living a small life. You didn't decide to do that. So
totally. Yeah.
You're going to have to deal with like the heaviness of the crown.
Totally. Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. That's, that is the duality.
Well, I think too, like there's got to be balance in it too, where like playing Red Rocks, you take the stage at Red Rocks, there's got to be the rub on the other side of that. You know what I mean? So it's got to be difficult at some point to make that mean something awesome.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite songwriters, John Craigie, who lives here in Portland.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a man.
Andy Frasco loves him too.
Yeah, he's the man.
Okay,
Yeah.
We just saw. I saw him not too long ago here with the Shook Twins. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there's one of his songs, I can't remember which one it is, but it's he's talking about being a musician, like in the song, and it says like some days it's the gorge, and some days it's a garage, and it's like something to the effect of, who cares, shut your mouth and do your goddamn job, or something like that. And it's and it's he's just talking about
Well, that roller coaster.
That is the roller coaster of it. But why, whine about it?
That's true. Well, we whine about it because it's
our life.
Yeah.
It's human nature.
It's like, shit, I had a bad day. You want to talk about it? Yes, I do. I want to get it off,
Totally.
Like you said, there's a release about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to divorce my husband. I just had a bad day with him, and I just want to air it out.
Man, I can do shit.
No, I'm just making I was
a good
making a lame
example.
example. I love you, babe. I love you, babe. Okay, I'll change my example.
Yeah.
No, it's true. You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
We just need to be able to air it out, and we have our own questions about, should we keep on doing this or not? We don't need that from someone else. We just need to be heard about it.
Yeah.
Well, our idea of what things are and what they actually are two fucking completely different things a lot of the time. Too.
Yeah.
And like, I know for a fact when we started doing this, my idea of what this was and what it actually is not the same thing. We don't do a tenth of what you guys do as far as like festivals and touring, and it's fucking exhausting, bro. It's hard to be away from home and sleeping in tents and fucking airplanes and the whole thing. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's grueling.
And then for you guys, how many days out of the year are you on the road? Like,
I can't. It's lessening up a little bit now. For a few years, it was really, really crazy. We were probably playing close to 200 shows a year, but now it's probably like, I think it's closer to 100 now. Like maybe like 120 or 130.
so you can go to
like
the coast for 3 days.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it is lessening up a little bit. Yeah, and getting to be a little more structured for sure.
And we're seeing you. This is June right now for everybody listening, just in case this is out later. But you guys are getting ready to go.
Yeah, I'm leaving on Thursday, and we're gonna go play
Borderlands.
Northland.
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 Different land.
Yep.
Yes. And that's like New Hampshire, I think. And then we'll be back for a couple days, and then after that we're out for 3 weeks, and it'll be Resonance and Blue Ox and a bunch after that. A bunch. We're doing some stuff in Asbury Park with Goose.
Yeah, I saw you had a couple of days in Asbury Park.
Yep. And just a bunch of festivals after that. I can't even remember which ones exactly.
This may be a dumb question, but do you have a preference over playing your own shows or a festival set?
Kind of depends. I think usually it's kind of like the flow of the year. There's like all your, every band's like big tour is basically like there's one in the fall and there's one in the spring.
Okay.
And in between, it's kind of almost every touring band does like a similar thing. There's New Year's almost for everybody. And then after that, like depending on where your spring tour starts, sometimes spring tour starts in January. It just depends. And once you get to the end of that, which is basically May, that's when festival season starts. And now festival season is almost year round, just because of Winter Wondergrass and things like that. Or, anything, all the things in Mexico and stuff like that. But basically between May and September or October, we just fly everywhere for festivals almost every weekend. Which is exhausting by the time you get to, the end of the summer, as are a lot of professions. One that we very commonly share that with is like hunting or fishing guides, mainly fishing and raft guides. They call it Angry August.
Okay.
Because by the time you get to August, everyone's pissed off and they're tired of dealing with clients. And
Never book a rafting trip in August.
Don't book any fish. Don't book any fishing trips in August because no one wants to hear about it.
Good to know.
Yeah. But by the time you get to August, it's like, that the whole flying every weekend is like has become a very, tiresome thing. But by the time you get to the end of spring tour and being on a bus for so long, then you're like ready to, at least I am ready. I'm like, okay, I can fly. I'm ready to go play some festival sets and, not have our trailer and stuff that we take with us, everywhere on tour, and we can just go in and play and then see all of our friends at festivals and then leave.
I never thought about it like
that's
that.
what I was thinking. We get to mingle and everything.
All your
and
shit. Yeah.
It just depends. But then by the time you get to the end of festival season, you're like, okay, I'm ready to like put on our own show. I'm ready to play 2 sets every day.
So it sounds like a good mix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Variety is the spice of life.
Yes.
Totally. For real.
Yeah.
Even though we're doing the same like job, you're singing, you're playing your instrument. It's yeah, man. It's a different thing wherever you are and where your head is and like where you're at in life. Like
totally.
Yeah.
We saw as fans too. We always say it too. We've seen a lot of bands. It's different when you see. I saw him at a festival. It was a festival set.
It's totally different.
It's not the same as busting out and doing a double set. Especially like you guys do. A lot of time that second set is very psychedelic. Gets very heavy and
really,
yeah. You never noticed. And that leads me to a question real quick. Sorry to sidetrack. Do you guys have a full-time lighting person that does your lighting for you? Or?
We do. Right now, I think we may be like going through some changes just because people are moving around the country and things like that. But as of like right now, our guy Frank has been with us the past few years pretty steadily, and he actually went to college in Bozeman the same time we did, so we've known him for a really long time.
Okay, that's what it seems like. Yeah. It's like the 5th member of the band,
and it's actually the same.
So well done.
It's the same for our sound guy too, Stefan. He did sound for us actually before us really knowing him at like one of the first open mics that we ever did in college when we were like all in college. He was going to school for sound and like introduced us to us through a mutual friend, and he did sound for us that night, and then we like never saw him again for like several years, and then now
comes back around.
Yeah. So it is kind of interesting, but we just ended up working with guys that have been in the same hometown as us for
which that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's not a huge town.
No, it's not. It's definitely growing pretty quick, but it's definitely not a very big town.
So Dwellers is a little family. I mean, you guys have
yeah, for sure. I mean, we've definitely. I met Shawn at my first day of class freshman year in Bozeman at college. So yeah, it's definitely goes back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, it's hard now to find anything that lasts.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything is like 10 minutes and it's done.
Yeah.
And that's
totally
dope.
Yeah.
So like him and I have been friends
40 years.
Her and I have been married 25 years. Like,
yeah.
That's not normal shit anymore. You don't hear about stuff like that. And like this, that's.
Yeah. And we actually know a lot of bands that sort of struggle with longevity, either through members leaving or getting finding a replacement member, or same thing with crew, like sound guys and or light guys and stuff like that. There's I think there is definitely something to be said for longevity and sort of like having that time to like sort of find out who you are as a unit is definitely a kind of a big thing for us, and something that we kind of take pride in. And that's part of that is like really sacrificing, or at least learning to work together, or, even if you might have a problem with someone, or, something arises, it can definitely, be mended instead of just firing somebody, you know?
Right.
And that's not really something we ever, consider as like a team, you know, of like replacing somebody, or, you know, it's generally all or nothing. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can love somebody and like somebody, and then working with them is a whole other fucking thing.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. And that's not always the healthiest thing. You know,
this was a, you know, trial by fire.
Totally.
Like we all lived together, and this started kind of just by us living in the house, and we never worked together. We had to, we're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
We're still figuring out how to do that.
Figuring it out for sure.
And like you said, there's not a time where it's like you're fired.
Yeah.
You fire somebody.
Yeah.
You live with them.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's
Well, then that would leave awkward, and like you still live together, but you're fired. You're out of the band.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll see you. Dinner will be ready in an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see how this
You know,
goes.
but being forced to work things out is something that I think our entire society could use more of.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know, like,
Yeah.
there's so much dissension, and it's so easy to like let people go or like fuck them,
Or
whatever,
cancel them.
instead
Yeah.
of just like being like, all right, dude, you know what? Let's just sit down and talk it out.
Yeah.
That's still an option.
Totally.
I don't think people realize that, or they're not exercising that or something. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah. If somebody's toxic and shouldn't be in your life, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
that's not usually the case.
No, and I feel like that gets overused so much nowadays.
Yes,
labeling
Torrin.
someone or something as toxic.
Yes.
Or labeling something as toxic and not taking your responsibility for your own bullshit in the matter.
Your own
Yes.
toxic
is
shit.
is a huge thing nowadays. At least, you know, through the use of social media and things like that. Generally, I've noticed a lot of people, you know, will label something or someone as toxic and push it away, but maybe at the same time they're not taking responsibility for their own,
Oh yeah.
you know, toxicity in the matter.
How do you navigate the
social media thing.
social media?
I was the one running it for the band for the longest time, so that got like really heavy, and now we're to a point where we have enough people working for us because
Right
it's like
on.
that's like a full-time job.
Yes,
that
it
would
is.
like, especially on tour and stuff, that would take up like easily like 6 hours of my day. Like,
Dang.
just as far as like making a post and then posting set lists or posting photos and then like, you know, replying to messages and things like that and posting on multiple platforms. It's like I would like wake up every day and like I would do that until the van got to the venue, almost like between that and writing the set list for the night would like, that's my whole day, you know?
Then what are you practicing?
And then, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
On stage.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And your
Torrin.
check.
Yeah.
You
You
want-
get blurry after looking at it for so long. You get blurry eyed.
Yeah.
That must have felt so good to pass that up.
Yeah, it has. And I still do some of it, or at least am like aware of what's
what's going on.
going up from management, but it's a lot of it is like very heavy, and I don't know. So much of the internet is just people fighting.
Making a post to me, like I do our social media, it's like navigating a fucking minefield.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, there's
Yeah.
no views on this post. Cool. I
Yeah.
can, you know what I mean?
I think this is funny.
Yeah.
Will everybody else?
Jesus, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's taxing for this, man. Like,
Yeah.
your head is, after a while, you're like, what's real anymore? I'm just going to post a picture of my coffee.
Yeah,
Hope
exactly.
Nobody gets mad.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like what is being deemed offensive
Today.
Today's. Yeah, exactly.
Even that could be promoting the coffee agenda.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. That's, you know.
Dang.
I want to go back to something you said. You mentioned Jeff Austin.
Yeah.
And he's such a big influence in so many people's lives, man.
Yeah.
How did that come into your world?
Well, I guess Yonder was kind of how I found bluegrass, or I guess bluegrass that caught my ear. I was raised in rural Montana and Wyoming, on a ranch. My family ranched cattle, and so my family listened to a lot of country music, also a lot of cowboy music, which is not the same as country or bluegrass music. You know, a lot of Marty Robbins and Chris Ledoux and things like that. And so I never really encountered bluegrass, except for my grandpa would listen to like really old, Flat and Scruggs, era stuff. Just like in the shop while he was working, on cars or something like that. And that was kind of my only, like ever hearing bluegrass music growing up, until, I discovered Yonder, which was basically through discovering what jam bands were, kind of in high school and listening to Fish and Widespread Panic, and then through that finding Yonder, and that was really my only sort of reference to bluegrass was through Jamgrass, was through Railroad Earth and the String Dusters, and those are the shows that I started to go to.
Were you playing banjo at this time?
No, I was playing guitar and mandolin, and I actually became the banjo player in the band by default, just because I owned a banjo. And yeah. And Shawn invited me over for a pick at his house, and he was like, what do you play? Like, bring your instrument. And I was like, well, I've been playing mandolin a lot. And he was kind of like, well, I play mandolin. And I was like, oh.
Don't bring that.
Yeah. So don't bring
leave that at home.
Yeah. Leave that shit at home. But he was like, we need a banjo player. And I was like, well, I have a banjo. And he was like, that's good enough. And so that's kind of how I started playing banjo in the band. And so,
so how many years?
Wait.
Yeah.
We're gonna get off track.
Sorry.
We're talking about Yonder.
Yeah. So after that, after I met the guys in college, my freshman year, Yonder used to do those runs where they'd come through Montana and play like 5 nights in Montana, and they'd come out to Oregon and Washington and play like a couple nights in the state. And we used to do like almost those whole run, almost every year, when we were in college. So the first thing that we all did together as a band was go to see Yonder, for 2 nights at the Wilma.
That's awesome.
In Missoula. So that was like that, like we all, like everyone in the band, like we all like got in the car and like went together. And so that was like, that weekend is like kind of like, really like, it's like just burned into my mind. Yeah. It's just really, really ingrained into my mind as, seeing like what, bluegrass or jamgrass or string music or whatever the hell you want to call it could be, as a live experience, and sort of coming away from that being like, well, now I want to be in a band like that, or I want to know how to do that.
How old were you, or how old was the band? A band?
The band wasn't really a band yet. We hadn't really played anything. Like we just played in Shawn's house together, basically, and like worked and then working on our own songs. Kind of that year, we'd never played anything like even like at the bars or anything like that year. And then, so like the next year was, I think, our first open mic that we played. Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
It's so wild.
Yeah. So that's
So wait, that ingrained moment was what made all of you decide that you wanted to go for it as a band together?
I think we had already kind of decided. At least that's in my mind, I guess, is what really made me decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was after that, not before that.
I mean, before that, I'd been in bands previously and kind of sort of knew that was what I wanted to do with my free time, at least. Was play music and be in a band if I could. So yeah, that was, I think that year, that experience among others, I think is probably what spurred us on to.
There was something extraterrestrial about him, though.
Yeah,
there was.
Yeah,
and the same way that like you'll hear people say that like at its string cheese show now you can feel the spirit of the Grateful Dead alive and at a cheese show.
Yeah, totally.
I feel that spirit of Jeff at a Dwellers show.
Nice.
Real, man.
That's awesome.
Because it took the music and made it. It wasn't so sweet anymore. It was also sweet.
Yeah,
but it wasn't so sweet anymore. There was a dark edge to it.
Yeah. There was both. There,
Yep.
And I think that was what really did it for me, as with Yonder as a band and seeing them live. When we were first figuring out how to be a band, it was like, well, Ben's gonna sing a song and it's gonna be pretty upbeat, and Davey's gonna play some sort of banjo hillbilly type thing, and which is awesome. That Angel was like the first Yonder song I ever heard, and I was like, what is that? Right. And then, but also you're gonna have like Adam sing like something pretty sad or heartbroken, very bluegrassy sounding, Pride of Alabama or something like that, and then inevitably there's going to be a moment where Jeff is going to scare the shit out of you.
Taking it out.
Yeah. And it's all wrapped up into one. And you're going to go through all of it over the course of a show. And that's kind of, I think, what really, drew me into it.
Yeah, you guys have it.
Thank you.
You guys.
I hope so.
Yeah, man.
You definitely do. And I almost interrupt you. We'd be remiss if we didn't say our good friends Ben and Tiff, our introduction to bluegrass really, we'd listened to it before, but it was really 2019 Summit.
Nice.
We saw you guys, Yonder, the infamous string, that whole lineup mixed with some jam bands.
Totally.
That's where we learned it was like, you can really groove and dance and get into bluegrass and everything. Yeah. And then we had the great Saturday night thing.
Oh,
where
yeah.
They have all that. And then our friend Ben, his whole family, his kids were raised around String Summit.
Nice.
And Jeff Austin remember he told her after that, he was like, hold on, I need to take you. He was so excited to take us on like some deep tracks.
Yeah.
Because he knows them all. Like, I need to look up 2015.
This is like hardcore kinfolk.
Yeah, totally.
And he's pulling, and we're like, what the fuck is this? He's like, this is Jeff Austin taking you on a trip.
Yeah.
And then come to this many years later, and he feels the same with you. Your voice, the band, where you take it and everything. He's like, they have that thing that they had when Austin was at the helm, taking it into scary waters,
totally,
and stuff. Sometimes
that's awesome.
It's amazing to hear.
Yeah, it's a trip to think that like one show can do that.
Yeah,
because I have mine.
Yeah,
did it for me.
Totally.
Music is so powerful, changes people's lives. It's a heavy thing. It
is a heavy thing, and I think that it's hearing that phrase is kind of taken with a grain of salt. When someone tells you the show was life changing, especially as a musician, and you're like critical of yourself, and you second guess yourself. And sometimes we get into this mode of like overanalyzing the music or the show, or something with the rhythm was off, or my in-ears weren't working right, or whatever. And then someone tells you like that show changed my life, and you're like, how? Like,
what's up, everybody? If you're like me and you're trying to do better for yourself and what you eat in this new year, I have something really cool for you. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day way easier. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. You're going to have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and more. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. What are you waiting for? Sign up and save. They've done all the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. So here's what you got to do. Head to factormeals.com/no NoSimpleRoad50 and use the code NoSimpleRoad50 to get 50% off your first box and 2 free wellness shots per box while subscription is active. That's code NoSimpleRoad50 at factormeals.com. Take all the guesswork out of trying to do the right thing for your body. Fuel up easy and fast. Go check out Factor.
Well, okay.
Are you on drugs? Are you high? Like, yeah. But still, yeah. That's part of it. That's inevitably part of it.
Many components here.
Maybe during those times where like your string broke or the note, whatever,
totally.
That's when the magic happened.
And that's what I always try to remember that and stray away from the overcritical or over analytical thoughts.
Yeah. Because you have to have them about yourself. Everybody does.
Everyone does. Yeah.
But like, I remember seeing you guys, and that was one of our favorite nights ever.
The late night?
The late night.
Yeah.
The last one, the very last summit.
Yeah.
Was literally one of my favorite performances ever.
Like your stage was here, our booth was right here facing the stage. It was like a VIP area, just chilling and watching you guys.
But yeah, just the late night, the feeling. We knew it was the last one. What you were singing, just the air, like it was magical, and it kind of didn't matter what came out. Well, the drugs, but it kind of didn't matter what note you were singing. Do you know? But it also really did, because when was it Nothing But a G thing or what?
Regulate.
When you did regulate. Man, Torrin.
This one right here flipped her lid.
I cried. I freaking
was fucking bawling.
That's funny.
It was amazing. Yeah. And like those kinds of moments are life changing, even though they seem trivial. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You're at a festival and your life changed. Like after having your kid, it didn't change.
You started playing banjo after that.
Nice.
I met Thomas Neckville.
Oh yeah, I just met him the other day actually for the first time. Yeah.
You have a Neckville?
I do play Neckville, yeah.
And you didn't know him before that?
I'd only been to his shop in Minneapolis when he wasn't there.
Okay.
And I got my guy Brett that worked there for a long time, and he was who I would call if I had any questions about anything. And him and this other guy Jeremiah worked on my banjo for me when I was there, and then I'd never encountered Tom. Just had mutual friends, and then on this last tour I went to call the shop to call Brett to ask him something, and it like redirected me to Tom's cell phone number, and he was like, hello, who is this? And I was like, just looking for someone at Neckville, and he's like, well, I'm Tom, and I was like, well, yeah, you're the guy.
I'm someone at
Neckville.
Got
someone at Neckville.
You are inevitably the guy. He was like, we were just talking, and he was kind of troubleshooting me on something with my banjo, and he was like, well, I follow you on social media, or he's like, I saw you. Did you just move to Oregon? And I was like, yeah. I was like, and he was like, I moved to Sisters.
Oh wow!
During COVID, and so right when I got off spring tour, I actually went down and visited him.
What?
And he worked on my banjo and got it tuned up to exactly his his settings that he likes. And it's like the best it's ever sounded. And
whatever banjo you were playing before versus a Neckville, well, how did it change for you, or did it?
Yeah, it did. When I bought that Neckville, I got it secondhand at Carter's in Nashville, and it was just like they're weird. They're weird banjos. They're not the same as traditional banjos. They have the neck's more like almost like playing an electric guitar or something like that. And some like your traditional, like all the old Gibsons and stuff like that, they have real thin necks, and they're real square and flat, and all the Neckville necks are have a radius to them, so it's almost like playing an electric guitar. And there's no fifth string peg, where the fifth string generally ends on the fifth fret.
Right.
There's like a hole, and it goes under the neck, and it goes out to the end, so it's like tunneled through the neck.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and
I didn't notice
that. And he has his own system. There's no like brackets to tighten the head. It's all
like
inside,
a screw,
and it's it's like geared inside. Like you get out these like special wrenches. It looks like kind of like a clock inside. And then he has his own pickup system that he sort of invented that goes with those banjos, and it's like it's the best banjo pickup I've ever used, and it's a lot of sound guys or house guys at places will be like, what did you put in there, because they're used to dealing with something that a banjo that has maybe not the best pickup, or a mic or something that wants to feedback. So yeah, Tom's just kind of a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dude, we sat down with him at Summit, and it was like a download.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy, yeah. And
he's got a lot to say too.
Well, that doesn't happen often where you reinvent an instrument.
Totally,
It
yeah.
doesn't happen.
No.
And he did.
Yeah, yep.
Well, he came over to our table. We were setting up at that booth, and he was like, "What are you guys doing here?" And we're like, "Oh, we're a podcast."
We didn't know who he was.
I didn't know who he was. Yeah, I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, can I be on?" And I was like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Well, I make banjos." And I was like, "That's dope." I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." He comes around the corner after we were like, "Yeah, come on back later." He comes around the corner with this Neckville that
with the Galaxy.
Totally, yeah.
And it was the most
She glazed over.
Yeah. After our interview with him, and he had Linda on, his partner.
Oh yeah.
And we talked. My ears changed forever after that for the rest of the festival.
Nice.
And that's why when I heard your set and what you were doing with the banjo, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe that. Like I never was into bluegrass growing up. I know all about country music and stuff like kind of like what you were saying. My mom listened to a lot, but nobody played instruments in my family.
Yeah.
No, like it wasn't, and that was so different. I'm from Vegas. There's no bluegrass in Vegas. That's just kind of not a thing.
Yeah.
Banjos in Vegas, that's not really a thing.
Yeah.
And so when we moved out here and had that whole thing, and you're playing freaking regulators, and like just the sounds you were making that was so different. I was like, I want to play the banjo.
Awesome.
I want to play the banjo. So I went on and I actually bought a banjo lele,
nice.
The ukulele banjo head. And I was like, I don't deserve a banjo yet. I don't know. It was a little intimidating, And so I played that, kind of for that summer. And then by the fall, Aaron got me a banjo for my birthday.
Nice.
And I've been taking lessons ever since last year, and like, but I want to say thank you to you for just opening up my mind to a different way to play the banjo.
Oh, yeah.
And just rocking it, man. Because
it's the wrong way. I learned the wrong way.
I love it.
It doesn't sound like it, man.
Just thank you for how you play your style. It's dope.
Thank you.
Did you teach yourself?
Yep. I'm definitely self-taught. When I first joined the band, I played it like with a guitar pick, like a tenor banjo, or like the guy Dave from Trampled, and eventually just sat down with finger picks and sort of made myself learn a couple banjo tunes just on the internet through internet tablature, and then from that just using videos online and learning fiddle and banjo tunes.
Fucking gnarly.
Do you know Wild Jimbo online?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
The banjo's no joke, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely its own,
it's a monster.
Totally own school of thought. And I still learn things about it all the time,
Isn't that the beauty of playing music? Is
yeah,
you're not like, I'm done.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So Torrin, you're not bummed that you play the banjo instead of any other instrument? Like you're
no. I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean, when I first played music, when I first got started, I played the drums since I was like 10, all through high school, and that was kind of the only thing that I played. And the banjo is definitely a super rhythmic instrument, so I think that sort of satisfies my need in my brain for that.
Okay.
I do miss playing the drums at gigs and stuff, but Yeah.
Playing drums as a kid, now you're in a band with no drums.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Like, well, if I can't be the drummer, nobody will
Yeah,
be.
no
So
one can.
what's your musical beginnings? You said at 10 you started playing. Like, do you have like a family background of music or anything like that?
No, not really. My uncle, one of my great uncles, played in bands in California when he was growing up, and that was kind of the only really person in our family that that played music. But my dad he's a cowboy artist, like Western artist. He did my tattoos.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
And he does art sort of in the style of like Charlie Russell, really old timey cowboy
Okay.
art, watercolor and then sculpture. But he went to school, he went to college in Casper, Wyoming. I think Casper, yeah. And then they moved to Montana, but he rode bucking horses in the rodeo for a little bit, and he was friends with his buddy Clay, who is the son of the country star Chris Ledoux.
Oh yeah.
He's like, Chris Ledoux is one of the very few people to sort of like ride the rodeo circuit, and he won the NFR a couple years in a row, or I think so, a couple years in a row. But also actually have a career as a country music star and have be very successful as a country music star. Generally, like, those two things don't really coincide.
No.
Like, usually it's like either you make it as a in the country music world, and you don't know anything about riding horses or any of that kind of thing, or those guys are really cowboy and really rode the rodeo circuit and are also cowboy artists, like never like really get big, or their
Right.
songs never get heard by many people. So he was like kind of my dad semi knowing him, or like having that influence in our household, just sort of like listening to his music all the time and like going to see his shows and stuff like that. From like a very young age, I guess, sort of, that was like my first real interest in music.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where
Yeah.
a lot of the
It's
Western influence, I guess, comes in our music.
Isn't it crazy to think back to going and seeing a show with your dad to like now?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a wild ride, man.
Yeah. And we just did 4 nights at Pine Creek, which is a little venue in Montana that's kind of like our yearly festival sort of thing that we do. And my parents were there for all 4 nights.
yes.
So
It's fucking dope.
yeah.
So what happened?
That's something I said earlier. I wanted to ask you is, well, what is Pine Creek? I mean, we hear a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, you've got to go to Pine Creek.
Pine Creek
and
is
it saved?
Is it saved? We did save it. Yes. Or at least,
For now.
it is saved. I don't know, I guess, who exactly saved it, but
It's saved at the moment.
it's saved. It's saved at the moment.
Good job,
Yes.
Torrin.
I think Chip did it, really, if we're splitting hairs, but
oh my gosh, I love it.
yeah. So Pine Creek is this venue that's outside of Livingston, Montana, which is there's Bozeman where we all lived, and then Livingston is just over like a short mountain pass. It's like 20 miles over to Livingston, and then Paradise Valley is this valley that runs from Livingston to Gardner, and that is split by the Yellowstone River, and that's basically the entrance to Yellowstone National Park. And Pine Creek is just kind of in that valley, like a mile or so off the river, and it's been there forever. I don't know exactly how old it is, but it used to be like a grocery store way back in the day. And then at one point, this guy bought it and sort of turned it into a venue, and they did shows there, but not like super frequently. And it wasn't like, a very super well-known place. There wasn't like high production value or anything
Right.
like that. And that's kind of how I knew it when I was in college. We played it once when I was in college way back in the day. We opened for March 4th marching band actually. And,
That's a weird bill.
yeah, that is a weird bill. Yep. And then after that, our buddy Chip bought it, somewhere in there and decided he was going to really, put effort and money into making it a venue, and sort of rebuilt the stage and stuff like that. And then we just started playing there sort of semi-regularly, doing shows inside, in the winter, like really small, like 150 person show. And then, doing a couple nights outside, at the new stage that he'd sort of rebuilt out there. And it just became this thing that a lot of people went to, and it was starting to sell out, and we started to do multiple nights, 2 nights, and then 3 nights, and then we just did 4 nights
Shit.
last week. So
How many people does it hold?
It holds roughly 1,000.
Okay.
It's like the stage isn't very big, so there's more than enough space to make you could make it 2,000 if you wanted to, but it probably wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to maybe hear or see just because of how the stage is set up. And there's cabins there that people stay in, and there's camping spots and like yurts and stuff.
Sounds dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sweet. And now Chip, was able to purchase and build this new parking lot next to it. So now there's like full parking for everybody. There's a lot more camping than there used to be. There's a band house now that the band stays in behind the property.
Cool.
That was super awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's just an awesome spot, but it's like kind of our just our hometown throwdown of the year every year.
So for those people that are listening that don't know what the hell I was just talking about, what happened?
So it was it basically it was sort of a growing pain of becoming a venue in the valley. And so people were basically having to park, on the road next to Pine Creek, on like a river road, which had been, that had sort of just been the standard forever, even when it wasn't a popular venue or there was just shows there intermittently. Like that was just what everyone did. And that's just kind of how things are in Montana. Like there's just not a lot of people around, and there's not a ton of infrastructure for how fast it's growing right now. And we can thank the TV show Yellowstone for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hollywood.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin Costner. So it's growing super fast. So like there's people moving there, that people are buying houses that they haven't even seen yet, things like that. Like that's how quickly
That's like
the population
Portland used to be like.
Yeah,
that.
that's how quickly the population in that state's growing.
That's crazy.
So basically the neighbors were getting fed up with people, because with Chip booking shows more regularly and being bigger names like Goose and Green Sky and Deer Tick and what have you, people are parking on the road more and more, and there's getting to be more and more cars.
Right.
So it's obviously, getting to be a problem for the neighbors. And Chip was basically constantly trying to find a solution to this. But there's a lot, involved with running a venue and trying to keep your head afloat. And as everyone knows, there's always more work that goes into it than you could probably possibly ever imagine. So yeah, with everything, yeah. So basically it had gotten to a point where the neighbors were super fed up, and basically we're trying to get this parking ordinance enacted, where no one would be able to park on any of the roads around Pine Creek, and it's a super touchy subject because none of that county is zoned. So if that were to be the first zone, then that could be sort of a cascading effect for however else they want to zone that county.
Right. It's just not even zoned.
No,
it's just, it's a place.
Yep. Yeah. So,
this is land.
Yeah.
Wow. Got it.
Yeah. So that's welcome to Montana. But they kind of, I don't want to say they sprung it on Chip, but he, all of a sudden it was this thing of, well, there's not going to be any more parking here, and we're trying to make it effective immediately, which would have basically disabled him from doing anything for the rest of the year leading up to the summer where they actually have shows. You know, during the winter they have, you know, there's a restaurant in there, so they have brunch and they do like community events like bingo and trivia or like, you know, little concerts inside, and that would have basically disabled all of that from happening, which would have basically brought all his operations to a halt, and then no more revenue stream.
It would have taken him out
for the rest of the year. Yeah, and there were a couple people that attended those meetings because I flew into Montana to go to those meetings, basically to put in our 2 cents as you know, someone that knows the people that run Pine Creek very well, and I wanted to be there to sort of, you know, put in a word from the band. There were a couple people at those events that were basically, they were just tired of people being around there at Pine Creek, and there was a couple guys that were just like, I just want Chip to fail specifically, is what they said.
What?
So it was, you know,
That's sad.
Yeah, and it just comes with that. I mean, I understand both sides of it. I grew up in rural Montana, so I know what it's like to live in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden there are a shitload of people there that you don't know and don't want to be there.
Didn't ask for them.
Bunch of hippies running around.
I get it. Yeah, I totally understand it. I also, you know, understand Chip's side of it, obviously, in basically trying his best and, you know, really trying to put his best foot forward. So, but basically what we accomplished through getting people involved and sort of getting a lot of people to write letters and stuff was the county commissioners were nice enough to sort of push that date back. So to where the ordinance didn't start going into effect until June. So it basically gave Chip a little time to prepare everything, and
so now he's got to
find a solution. Now he has a parking lot, and now no one has to worry about parking on the road, and there's, you know.
Right on. I'm glad Chip didn't fail.
So it worked out like for
That's
the best.
messed up, dude.
Well, it sounds like a very magical place. I mean, you guys just released your second live album. It came out in March, which is amazing.
And I mean, we're biased, but also like, you know, there's been, I've sat in there with the String Dusters and with Leftover Salmon and with Goose, and John Mayer lives right down the road, and we opened for Bob Weir there. And there's a lot of people, a lot of musicians that I have heard say like, this place is special. Like I don't know how we didn't know this existed
really
before. You know, and this summer is going to be really big for Chip. He has the Disco Biscuits are going to be there, and Green Sky is going to be there. And I don't know. I can't even remember.
Wow.
There's a huge list on his
so
summer.
He's like
this
on
year.
the map now.
Now I think now he's you know, he's done his due diligence as a venue owner and put a lot of work and effort into this.
Right on, Chip.
Right on, Chip.
Yeah.
We have a couple friends that have some land out in Sandy. And
Oh yeah,
18 acres out there.
nice.
And they got it with the thought of the people that we were telling you about from Summit.
Oh yeah,
This family.
totally.
They bought it thinking we're going to turn this into a concert venue, and actually this weekend is the first festival ever out there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Mojo Family Fest.
Yeah, with Bodie Mojo and Family
Oh
Mystic and
yeah.
Sponge.
Okay. Totally. Yeah. Sponge. I know those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you talk about work.
Yeah.
Holy dude, when we first went out there during COVID, and the top part of the place is like an arboretum, so it's like trees
okay.
from all over the world up there.
You have to
wow.
go sometime, Torrin. It's like
Really?
it's so
Where is this
sweet.
at?
Sandy.
Sandy.
So it's like literally like
40
50 minutes from here.
here.
Yeah, 40, 50 minutes from here.
Is it like down the gorge? Like, is it?
It's
Not
right
that
before
far.
you get to the gorge, you turn off.
Okay. I
Not-
think I may have been invited to this place.
You were invited to
Yeah,
this place,
okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's called Rhythms Ground.
Okay. I think one of our like friends or mutual friends maybe have reached out, but it's hard to keep track.
They take me down, and they're like, I want to show you where we're going to put like the stages.
It's kind of like the bowl in Hornings,
Yeah.
you know, like
Nice.
And we
Yeah.
walk around
smaller
this
scale,
corner,
but
and it's like 3 football fields of blackberries.
Whoa.
And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy.
You're gonna
cool.
do what?
And dude, they fucking did it.
They did it,
and
huh?
it's him and his wife. Then like, not few people have come in and helped
The
here
work
and there.
parties here and there, but
Yeah.
mainly
These two are in
them.
there like
blood, sweat, and tears.
digging root balls and pulling blackberries and like
Yeah.
that's a
Ben-
fucking
Ben-
animal.
Ben always looks like a cat, like a pack of cats have just attacked him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
They've got heart, man, and,
Yeah.
and they love
Yeah.
the music scene, and they love Jeff Austin, and they took their kids to String Summit every year. So like
Right.
they're part of the festival scene. They're part of the music
Totally.
scene, and they want to keep it going in their own right, you know. And
Yeah.
it's crazy because we were looking at our String Summit poster of 2019, and this weekend would have been like the weekend. It was like the 18th, 19th.
it was July, wasn't it?
In July, though. Yeah, in July. But yeah, like just the idea of people coming out to support those moments of magic,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And,
Totally.
And having something, it'll be cool to have something here that can fill that hole that now that Summit's not at
Yeah. Totally.
Hornings anymore. That
Yes.
that was
Sad.
really sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was. It was definitely sad. I had a moment for sure the last night when we all got up and played Tear Down the Grand Ole Opry. That was like you know, it was really heavy, and we like kind of I kind of like, you know, went to college and stuff going to String Summit every year before we even played it as a band.
Right.
And so it was like a really special place for us. And then like my I was right next to my buddy Kyle Tuttle. And that was the first String Summit he'd ever got to go to. So we had like kind of like had this like talk like after that happened, and I was just kind of like, holy shit, dude, that was like really heavy. And he was like, I could tell that it was, you know, that was something big, but he's like I wish there was going to be more.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
felt like it really did feel like on that last night when you guys finished singing, I was like, there's no way this is going to stop.
no, I think there's going to be something else. I think there's going to be something new out here, you know, in this part of the country that is maybe on the same, you know, on the same wavelength. I don't know, you know, anything for
we
sure.
needed
but
that music
I hope
needs to be
so,
played.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
wants to be
But
played out
that
here.
family's 20 years old. That's a family. The people that went, the people
Yeah.
that played.
Oh
grew
yeah,
up.
That's
yeah.
a family. You don't just like,
Yeah.
well, family's done now. Everybody
yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but the sad
Party
thing
over.
is that kids do move out. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
kids-
And things
yeah.
change, you know, and now they're doing weddings, which is cool and
Yeah.
great. But like,
Yeah, man, having your
yeah.
wedding there would be pretty wild.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, man, if the dwellers want to do something out here at
Yeah.
Hornings Ground, just say the word. They're
Yeah.
dying for you guys to come out there.
Yeah, I'll have to go. I'll have
Scope
to
it out.
Take up the offer and go. Yeah, at least look. Go,
Yeah.
It's a trip,
look at
man.
The
The
place.
Arboretum, like the people that own the property before them, traveled the world and were tree people, and they would like send back trees from all over the world to this place. So like the whole top, it looks like
It's Dr. Seuss
Dr.
land.
Seuss.
They had a quarter
This
acre of bamboo
weird-
that's like this and like 40, 50, 60 feet tall bamboo.
Whoa.
And then a monkey puzzle tree. Then you turn around here and they got that huge sequoia that's right when you drive into the one driveway. They've had a lot of people helping out there lately, and like tree topper guys and stuff. Arborists. They just want to come out there and they'll work all day, and then they go wander the arboretum. Like, I've never seen one of these, and they're like having to look up like what trees are because you know it's their jam. They're
Damn.
like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
Tree
man.
people.
It's a dope.
The
It's
tree
really
people.
a dope place, man. And to have it out here, another, you know, option is it's cool because
Yeah.
like I said, when that ended that night, I was like, this can't stop. Like there's no way. And that feeling that was there, we only went to 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but
I've never felt anything like that at a festival before. That was
Yeah.
different than anything
Yeah.
I've ever
Yeah.
felt.
I've always put that one and Telluride were always like our top. Like there's like really nothing quite like being
wow.
at those at those festivals.
We
It's not
got
like another
we got to
festival.
get to Telluride.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Me and him in our early 20s lived there for about
Really?
what, 2
About a
months,
month and a half. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
we went up to visit some friends, and it was like festival, like Mushroom Festival.
Oh yeah,
the
there's
Balloon Festival.
like
They're
once
dude,
summer hits, they have something every weekend.
Yeah,
almost.
We're like, we're not leaving.
We ended
Yeah.
up working the crews that cleaned up after the film festival and this. And then we
Yeah.
got free concessions. We slept in a trailer with like 8 other people.
It was a gross,
like, early 20s.
That's
So it
awesome.
was like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, let's
Hell
do
yeah,
this.
that's the time to do that.
I remember it was like you got to keep all the ground scores you get. We were finding jewelry and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
from the
sure.
festivals, and that was fun.
Dude,
that
those,
dude Sam.
those film festival people party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Telluride. Telluride's a fun place.
And
man.
Telluride is a
beautiful.
good time.
Fly me to the Moon Saloon.
Yeah.
spot.
The moon.
Hanging out there.
I remember that's where I found out about the aquarium rescue unit was in Telluride.
Oh, that's
Colonel
wild.
Bruce.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is pretty
Yeah.
wild.
All right.
That would have been like 91.
I want to
90.
ask Torrin, as a touring band, and then also you're a part of a band, and then you're solo. When you roll through town, what is it that could help, or what is it that you would need? Strolling in and out of different towns. Like what's the first thing that you need to you need to have like some time alone, or what is it when you go as a band and as your personal self
Yeah.
rolling through each town?
Well, now we just made our switch from the van to the bus.
Oh.
This last
I
spring
bet that's
tour.
been awesome.
Which is super cool. Definitely not something I ever thought would happen. So that's
Congratulations,
pretty exciting.
man. That's dope. Yeah.
But it also like changes the vibe of tour kind of drastically.
Okay.
Is just as far as like before it was we'd get in the van after the show and then head to a hotel. Everyone checks in the hotel and then we get up super early. Maybe sleep for like 4 to 6 hours and then start driving to the next town, and one of us is driving. Like Joe is driving essentially everywhere.
Okay.
Because he prefers to, not because we make it or
Okay.
anything.
That'd
But
be great.
yeah,
There's always that person.
and if there's I was like, if you want to drive 12 hours to wherever, like by all means, go for it. So that is like is super tiring for everyone, and then we're just getting to the venue and then load in and then play and then we're out. But now that it's switched to the bus, or the bandwagon is the thing that we're in, but it's like we get in after the show and then our driver just starts driving and then we just wake up at the venue where we need to be, which is a game changer
So
as
you have,
far as like your day goes.
your comforts
rested.
and everything at
Yeah, like your house is like kind of
Wow.
with you, which is super cool. But so it kind of changes up like what now you have this time in the morning to like do something, you know, with your own time, which is before we basically had little to zero free time or any sort of like time apart.
Yeah.
So now you can like, I was like on this last tour either like searching out coffee somewhere nearby, like a good coffee shop, Yeah, there's a reason I moved to Portland.
We can hang out.
Or like finding, somewhere to go for a run or like, work out in the parking lot or, kind of get into the groove of your day.
Sounds more healthy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's also being in hotels too, there's a gym in every hotel now.
Okay.
So that's like that it was one of my favorite perks on the road is just all that is just at your disposal.
Totally.
Any day that you want to, basically. But it's just different now. It's just a little bit different. So like, having like
so your needs are kind of met in a different way.
Yeah, they are.
were.
Yeah. In a different way. Yeah.
So it's a bandwagon, like the square.
Yeah, it looks like a box truck, like a Freightliner thing.
We had dogs in a pile. They stayed here a few nights ago.
Nice.
And
right on.
They had one
They had
on
to
our
turn
street.
around.
Had to turn around on this street.
Oh yeah,
With
that's
that
a nightmare.
trailer.
20-foot trailer or more behind them.
That's worse. They're worse than trying to turn a semi around. They're like have a worse turning radius.
We saw
It was
that.
scary
It
to
took
watch.
about 15, 16. It was Austin Powers. Just jackknife. Go a little more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was
crazy.
interesting.
But
Joey did it.
You get out of the show. You're at home now. You're just on the road, off you go.
Yeah.
When you want to go to sleep, you're like, good night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Get in your bunk.
Dang.
Yeah.
Good night.
You can have all of your food that you like prefer. With you.
That is the real downfall. Actually, is that that's just at your disposal at 3 in the morning.
Okay.
Which is actually Anders pointed that out to me. He was like, yeah, you guys are on bus tour for sure. And I was like, how do you know? He's like, because I just saw, he's like, one of us had just grabbed like all the stuff out of the fridge and just like move it into the fridge on the bus. And he's like, and now all those snacks that you asked for on your rider are all there. They're right next to you while you're driving. And they're in the same room as you. And I was like, yeah.
Shit.
I was like, yeah.
Now you got to have even more self-control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now I'm like,
it.
well, like I wouldn't typically eat ice cream at 4 a.m, but like
It's here.
It's in front of me. Yeah. Like, fuck it. Yeah.
I can't let it go to waste.
Yeah. I didn't become a musician because I have incredible self-control, and that's what the question is. But
shit.
Maybe that answers the question why the boys didn't take the snacks.
That's probably why.
We bought them a whole bunch of stuff. They're like, perfect. This is all the stuff we love. And then
And they left it.
They probably
they're young though, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. They just forgot it.
They did just for that. Thought so.
That's probably more accurate.
All right. So before we stop, where do you land on the alien question?
Ooh, did you hear about that new?
What?
Did you hear the new news?
Oh, no.
In Vegas?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Aliens landed.
Oh, the one landed.
A family, like, in their backyard, an aircraft landed.
Wait,
left
there's video of it.
Yeah, left a perfect crop circle thing, and then they say grays got out or some kind of.
And they got video of it.
They got video, but it's like dark, so it's kind of hard to see. But like multiple
There's video from a body cam from a cop
of the thing falling. You could see the thing landing from a cop's body cam.
Yeah,
but
weird.
Where do you stand on the alien question? Are they real or not?
I mean, I think, as a man of science,
of course.
I have a science degree that I'm really using.
Okay.
I'm using the hell out of it.
Using the hell out of it.
Yeah, I put it to good use. And I would say that there's just like no way in hell that there's not something, there's not some sort of alien. Also, one of my dear friends is Ryan Dempsey from Twiddle, which I don't know if you guys know about his obsession with aliens.
No, we did not know that.
Oh yeah, he's like almost as obsessive as maybe Tom DeLonge about aliens.
No
way.
If you bring up aliens, to
I wish
him,
we would have known that.
Oh man, you would have to tell him to shut up. You would have to tell him. You would have had to cut short. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We were just kidding.
Yep. Super into aliens. Big believer. I think there's inevitably aliens. There's also one of our friends has video. It's really funny. It's from like before like cell phone video days, so he has it like on a camcorder that he showed to us, and it was of some sort of aircraft over Denver that he took a video of, and it was from like it must have been like early 2000s if it's on a camcorder, but it's like some sort of like multiple circles of things that are like moving, but they're like iridescent, like you can't, it's like the Predator thing, you can't quite see it, but there's something there, he has this really long video of it, like it moves vertical and it moves horizontal and it like hovers and it stops, and it makes all these different colored lights and shit, and it's from way before
CGI
or what's the Elon Musk thing now that's out there, the internet, Starlink. Yeah, it's way before Starlink. So
I get where you're going. Yeah.
But it's like it's similar movements where it kind of looks like a centipede across the sky.
Weird.
So I've always definitely thought there's gotta be something.
They say a billion stars, right?
Yeah.
Some nerd figured that out.
Yeah.
And
science major figured that out.
Yes. Some shut up nerd.
Whatever nerd.
And this is the only one. Like,
that's very.
Come on,
that's like
man.
arrogant.
That's a very like human being way to.
What
think
about
about
Antarctica?
Yeah.
What about? Oh shit, babe. All right.
I'm just saying.
There's a Nazi base under Antarctica.
I wasn't thinking Nazis. I was thinking more like aliens.
Alien base. Oh
base.
yeah, that's true. I think. I mean, now I got to watch the Vegas thing. But since the COVID announcement where it was like mid COVID and the CIA was like, aliens real, and like, everyone's like, yeah, no one gives a shit, dude. I can't leave my house. Right. Like,
that's kind of like it was like
alien schmaley.
They knew what they were doing with the timing.
Admit it.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
Are they wearing masks? Like, so. Like,
do they honor the 6 feet?
Yeah, like
6 feet, bro.
Yeah,
6 feet.
Also, on either the same day or the day before that happened in Vegas, some like whistleblower guy came out and was working at some place and was like, U.S. government has 12 down alien craft. I'm just letting everybody know, telling it like it is, and I'm implore Congress to do an investigation and get this out. Because it's bullshit that the public doesn't know.
Yeah.
And then aliens crashed in Vegas, and pretty soon they're going to take over.
Yeah. Huh. I'll be damned. I'm definitely going to look this up now.
Yeah, it's cool, man. So, yeah, you got Northlands, not
Northlands.
Borderlands.
Yeah, Northlands.
And
Romp is the first thing after that, which is in Kentucky. And then Weekend at the Cave. I saw Chicago or in Illinois, like Green Sky, yeah, and then
Blue
Resonance, Blue Ox, Asbury Park with Goose, North or not Northlands. What's the other one? Oh, Maine Folk Festival. We're way up in Maine.
Is the Asbury
Brunswick, Maine?
Yes.
Is the Asbury Park thing you and Goose? That's it?
No. Well, we're just doing a late night for Goose both nights, but it's like I think it's almost in the same venue. I'm not really sure.
Oh damn!
I haven't been there before.
Talk about trajectory.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Then you got Red Rocks, middle of July. This will be your third time playing
at Red Rocks. Yeah, we're doing Red Rocks with Cheese this time, which will be pretty wild. That'll be pretty crazy.
Then you got a few other one last one I wanted to ask you to the end of your schedule. Have you done Halloween yet?
No, we've never done Halloween.
Okay.
We did.
We just hear all kinds of things.
Yeah, we did. Suwannee like Spring Festival, I think, or something like that, or maybe I can't remember which. It was either the Fall Fest or the Spring Fest, but that was our first time being there, and that place is awesome,
amazing.
That's what we've heard. That's a bucket list
comparable
spot.
to Hornings.
Wow.
Like I would say comparable to Hornings. Yeah,
that's
what about Fair, Oregon Country Fair?
I've never been actually. I've never been to the Oregon Country Fair. I know I have a lot of friends that go. I'm thinking about going since we moved here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard it's pretty wild.
You should come.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
We haven't been either. This is our first year.
We got
really?
invited this year.
Nice.
To podcast
When is it?
7th, 8th, and 9th of July.
Of July.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
if you got a tiny break in there, Torrin, that's
Nice.
good.
I actually don't think we do, but that is. I think we're out that full.
Oh, that.
July 7th, you're in Virginia Beach.
Gotta live your life, Torrin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make your dreams come true.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. This was fun.
Yeah. I'm sorry it took so long.
No,
it is what it is.
took when it took.
It's
It was great.
special when it happens in person too.
You wouldn't have wanted to talk to me that night anyway, whatever that was.
I remember when I almost accosted you. I'm like, Torrin,
do you
remember that?
Do you remember Mr. Burns when he
Mr.
gets on The Simpsons? He gets dosed. And
his eyes are yeah.
We're like right on.
Turkos was playing, dude. I get
You had your groove on.
Well, everybody out there, go listen to the Kitchen Dwellers and buy their merch. Go see them.
Buy the merch. Always buy the merch.
Thank you.
Lots of merch all the time. And don't bring them snacks. They have plenty of fucking snacks.
Yeah, no snacks, dude. Love, money, and merch.
Yes.
Merch.
That's how you show your love.
All right, y'all. Peace. See
Thank
later.
you.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, so react. It's both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.